have been for quite some time. I'm a member of the Golden Dawn. There's not much of an organization here in Ohio, which I like to see grow and happen. And I have a study group, that we get together occasionally, and we study and exchange ideas and information and knowledge and stuff about the material within the book of the Golden Dawn. And it's really a unique spiritual path, and some people really regard the Golden Dawn and the rituals and the daily practices as kind of like a Western yoga. And I find that it really, really gives me a lot of peace and wonderful contemplation in spiritual matters and things of the soul. So if anybody has any questions, you can call in again at 646-595-3882. And so also some other things am going, when I just start teaching classes on, or maybe a workshop is on, if anybody is familiar with something called the Viking runes. It's an oracle with a set of glyphs that you put into a nice bag, and you contemplate your question, and you pull out the glyph or the stone with the symbol on it, and you research and look that up in the book that comes with it. And the book is written by Ralph Blum, and it's a really, really wonderful piece of work to or an oracle to use for advice on spiritual matters, clear to the mundane, material matters. I've had my runes and book, I would say a good 30 years. Not to give my age away. However, I'd like to do, and also how you can cast the runes and read the future and do predictions based upon them too. Whether it's a year forecast, a daily forecast, and things of that nature. It's a really wonderful piece of work. One of your older oracles and things that used to be popular at one time that has been used by many mystics and readers and things in the past, and so survives today, is your I Ching, and the hexagrams and also the symbology in it, and also the book of changes that comes with it. I've sat down sometimes and just really read through and read the book of changes without ever, doing a I Ching casting, and just the knowledge and things you glean from it is just it's really a very interesting book. And the I Ching, you don't see it used that much anymore out and about in readings, but it still does survive today and is still used. And actually it's really favored by a lot of, like I said, a lot of big name, readers and occultists and seers and mystics and things of the past. I've used it. I've had great success with it. And excuse me. Another thing too is pendulum and dowsing work. I had a client this evening who she goes to the casinos, and she also plays the numbers and things. And she says she seems to have, from what she says, she's doing well with what the outcome is. And she takes her pendulum and takes some of her numbers, and she'll go pick and play them. She goes to the casinos and uses her pendulum to pick out what slot machines she could use that she would have the best success with. And evidently she hits on them. I never thought about that. I have no idea if that would be, legal with the casino managers and security, but she seems to be getting by with it and doing okay with it. So if anybody would like to give that a shot and get back to know how that worked out for them, you're free to call in, anytime at 646-595-3882. Okay? I remember when I was younger and things, my grandmother used to pull, the limb off of one of the fruit trees that she would have, sometimes a peach or an apple, and she would use that to douse for things like water, answer yes or no questions on certain matters, and also find missing objects and stuff. And I always found that very interesting. And myself, I have a pair of copper rods that you grip, and they also will go and point out directions and answer yes or no questions, and things of that nature. I don't know how it would be viewed again at a casino, walking through with the rods in your hands. They probably wonder what in the world you're doing. But anyhow, there's just so many fascinating and interesting, things to use out there for divining, reading, for certain things and purposes. And really, your pendulums and things like that are so handy and they're so easily to carry. They help with anything from answers to questions, prediction questions, right down to even, is this appropriate for me to purchase or buy when it even comes to food, or your health questions. And I've known many people that do that. Myself, I still carry my pendulum even in my car, and if I have a question alongside my runes, if I have any questions, I can always reach in and grab one or get out my pendulum. And also, I was noticing, too, that I was telling somebody just the other day about the tarot cards, which I was discussing earlier. And your tarot cards of the past were, today what we use is the poker cards that they play cards with. All of those were originally the tarot. And what had happened was, in the Middle Ages and things, as the cards came through, they were Christianized, and the Fool card was made into the Joker, and the rest of the major arcana was gotten rid of. And then they took cups on their cards and turned them into hearts. They took the pentacles, turned them into diamonds. They turned swords into spades, and they turned the clubs came from the wands in the tarot deck. And in the tarot deck, your hearts, of course, or your cups, I should say, the cups always deal with emotional matters, health concerns, relationships, love, family, things of that nature. In of course, your pentacles, they deal with financial, money, wealth, property, material, the coming and going of money, the matters of all those kinds of affairs. Your wands, on the other hand, they have a tendency, they deal with, business, travel, information, the coming and going of people or things or situations. They're more of a static card than they are more of a fixed one. They represent, like I said, the coming and going of a lot of things, which would be dignified by the other cards. And then your swords, they represent hardship, misfortunes. Sometimes they represent triumph and conquest, master, control, directed desires, but it also represents things like, slander, arguments, hardship, quarrels, battles yet to be won, and that also could go everything from, that into health concerns, health matters, things even into legal. It could represent jail or addiction issues. So you can tell when you kind of put all those cards together, 72, and you shuffle and you lay them out of the spread, and you have a chance to what falls out into the spread according to what you do. Most people use a Celtic cross method. I don't. I keep mine kind of simple and, the boom, boom, boom. And my spread works best for me, because I do so many quick on-the-spot readings for people in a timed fashion and manner that I need something that works, gives me the information, and keep things moving. So, again, I'll be teaching those classes and things like that. If anybody's interested, you can just go to my my website or my Facebook page by going to readingsbychristopher.com. My phone number's on there. Give me a call, and I can, get people signed up for that and tell you when we're going to be having that. And I'm looking forward to, classes. I always love teaching. And another one, too, I would like to do sometime in the spring of the summertime is do some talks upon spirit guides. Everybody has them, and I find, people get very confused, and that's why I want to do a workshop on it, because how to get in touch with your spirit guides. And the first thing that people say, and I understand that, is that they can't tell the difference between spirit voice coming to them as a thought or as a symbol in their mind's eye or a feeling. They can't tell the difference between their own imagination, they say, and the voice itself. And that's very interesting. One of the exercises I take people through is something, it doesn't take long at all. And it goes along the lines of how to recognize your own voice and discern it from the spirit. And I tell, I give people a relaxed state, and I have them relaxed, and I take them through visualizations. And it goes like, basically like what I wanted to explain here. Once you're relaxed, your eyes are closed, I tell, the students or my clients to close their eyes, and I take them through a guided meditation. I say, can you see yourself, in a grocery store, you're alone, and you got your list there, and you're thinking through your mind, and you're, I need to get bread, butter, milk, peanut butter, cheese. Can you hear yourself going through that in that atmosphere? Yes, people indicate they're there. Let me take you to another place. Now, you are in traffic, okay, and you are late for an appointment, and you're the only one in the car. You're behind the slowest driver on the highway you think is, alive, and you are frustrated, angry, probably saying a few choice words. And can you hear that voice? Can you hear that anger voice in your mind? It's your own. Okay? They say yes. The next visualization we're going to go to is this one. It is a beautiful Friday afternoon. Oh, I would say not afternoon. I'd say more like maybe like 9, 10, 11 o'clock. And it's going to be a warm day. You have the day off. You can do anything you would like to today. And you're sitting there with your morning coffee or tea, and you're looking out the window, and it's so sunny, and you're so excited. And you're contemplating, should I go shopping? Should I spend time outdoors? Should I go for a jog? Should I call my friends and make plans, have an outdoor lunch? There's, the options are endless. Can you hear that voice as you contemplate your afternoon? Okay. And after people, they get that. Now, here's where I'm taking you. What about a time? Think back at a time when you have been really unreasonable. You have been sharp. You went away above the call of being, critical or actually just being mean to somebody. And then later on that evening, throughout the day and into that evening, there's a voice that says to you, that wasn't right. And the same voice when you're laying in bed at night, getting ready to go to sleep, that voice comes to you and it says again, that wasn't fair. That wasn't right. You should do something about it. And it's that voice. Now, when you wake up in the morning, it's the same voice saying, you should really say you're sorry. You should feel bad. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the voice, the one that's talking to you. That's the tone, that's the feeling, and that's the voice. So I'll conclude my show for the evening. I've had no call-in, so I'm glad I got to share with whoever's listening out there. And look forward to seeing me and hearing from me in the future. I don't have that booked at this current time, but it'll be sometime this week. So, everybody stay safe, warm, and I'll talk to you soon. This is Readings by Christopher signing out for the evening. All right, good night.